Greetings, Jamaica, and warm greetings to Jamaicans across the diaspora and friends of Jamaica around the world. Welcome to Jamaica Politics Uncovered 2.0, hosted by Natalie. This is your platform for truth, credible information, breaking news, Jamaican politics, public policy, and social justice. Here, we go beyond the headlines. We challenge misinformation, examine the facts, and hold our leaders accountable. Every story deserves more than a headline. It deserves evidence, history, perspective, and honest discussion. From Jamaica to the diaspora, we are connecting our people through fearless commentary and meaningful conversations about our country's future. Join the Jamaica movement. Join the Country First movement. This is Jamaica Politics Uncovered 2.0, where truth matters and conversation becomes impact. We are about purpose, perspective, and impact. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode, guys, of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. It is Friday, August 28th, 2026. It is now 8:17 p.m. where I am, 7:17 p.m. in Jamaica. So it's Friday night. We don't know how we do it. We're going to be here a while. We've got some things to talk about. So join in. Let me know where you are watching from, and then we can get started. Welcome, guys. When you come in, just press up the like button, and moderators, thank you for joining. Good night, Jamaica. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend so far. I don't know about you, but I am happy that it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. So, we have some good news and we have some other things to get into because tonight, guys, the Prime Minister of Jamaica and the government went down to Cooper's Pen. First time since the Prime Minister went down there, had a conversation with the people. They had some things to say, and I'm going to bring you all of it. And I also have something to say to and about Member of Parliament for East Portland, Isat Buchanan. Yes. And we're going to have a little chit chat. I think I may open the phone lines for a little bit tonight as well. And then we will go from there. So let's see. Also, about part 3 of the democratic socialism experiment. You are going to get that not tomorrow, because I want to do something else tomorrow. I think maybe Monday, right? We had part 1 and part 2. If you have not seen part 1 and part 2 of democratic socialism experiment, you need to watch those 2, and then of course we'll get together on Monday and we'll do part 3. So let me see who there. Hi, Ruan. Good evening. Good evening, Miss Winsome and everybody. Itzy, welcome. Melanie, welcome. So, yeah, guys, let me just show you what the Prime Minister actually saw when he went down to Cooper's Pen. I think the people were quite nice to him. They were receptive. So all the things that were said by the opposition about the government send people or bulldoze and everything, these people are very much aware that the government did no such thing. They know what happened. They know, they know everything. And there was nobody there blaming the Prime Minister. The people I saw who the Prime Minister spoke with, they were all very welcoming. They had no blame to place on him. And they were just glad that the government went down there and basically tell them, say, we found some land and we're going to be relocating people. The Prime Minister also mentioned, say, him here, say, people down here are trying to chop the line, trying to get resources under false pretense. Those are the words of Isat Buchanan. So I think it was good that the Prime Minister mentioned that. So let us see here.
Appreciate your presence here today. I also appreciate the solution which you come up with for us. And you take the time out today to walk and to come down to us. We are humble, we are grateful. And See the people, along with myself, get some answers. The politicians before, they all tried. But Mr. Chang also came and met with us, years ago. And he said he will try and help us. But here is the help today. It's never too late. We are grateful. What we are asking also is that before the relocation, we are asking you, we want to make sure we are relocated before the demolition take place. We have not get any assurance about that.
Very
so
good
that
question.
is the question.
So it's a very good question you have asked. Now let me be clear. I have not made any contact with the other party involved in this matter. I don't know if any other arm of government has, but I'm not sure, authoring, I don't know. My ministry has not, and I'm not aware of any other that has. And for good reason, we don't want to get involved in the private dispute, especially since the court has already ruled. We see our job as protecting you with the humanitarian issues that have occurred and to treat with the problem of your relocation. However, I'm certain this will go public, and I'm certain that the other parties involved would see this, and therefore they should act. Yes, they should act with compassion, because clearly the government has provided a solution. All right? Now, but just to make sure that there is no misinterpretation, I believe, Audrey, I'll ask my ministry through its legal department to notify the other party involved in this matter of the intentions of the government.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to play some other audio from this visit down here. And I'm going to let you hear, what all the government had to say. So, have a listen to this one.
Alternative. But did you had an opportunity where an alternative was proposed? The alternatives are not always in part. So sometimes it depends on where that's available. We are now doing a survey as well. That's the Ministry of Housing, that's the team that will be on. They're doing the social service, they're checking on the nationals, they're checking on the number of persons in the household, the children, the elderly, the vulnerable. They also want to know who's working, so you can give a better plan to how to assist. But we are also interested in determining the length of occupancy. Because I gather that there are some people who have just come onto the land. And my intelligence is also telling me that there are persons who are trying to infiltrate the existing community to put themselves in a position to benefit from the assistance the government can give. I wish to remind all of you that if we encourage them, it would be to the disadvantage of the people who are the original occupants. So don't encourage, support, or give protection to anyone who is stepping on. I believe the term they use is to chuck the line. Chuck line business will work here. Because before there is any relief or benefit given, we have to make sure that we properly identify the beneficiaries as legitimate. It's very important. All right.
So, what you just heard was the Prime Minister speaking directly to the gentleman with the hat on, with the dreads, and he was telling the people that they need to protect their resources and protect their community by not supporting anyone who infiltrates their community to try and chop the line by getting resources from the government. And that's important. And that's what these guys agreed to do. Um, Rodney, hi. Yeah, guys, for those of you who are just joining, I got out of character today. I really did got out of character. I make no apology for it, but we'll talk about that in just a while. There's another thing that the Prime Minister said that I wanted to share with you guys. I think it's over on GIS. As I said, the people were very receptive and, that's good. They weren't looking for anybody to blame. They just wanted to hear, they wanted to be assured that they were going to be okay, after what took place.
That will be done. Will there be compensation for the properties that have been damaged and the properties that will be damaged? First of all, the government could not compensate you for property that was damaged by a private action. Let me put it another way. The government couldn't take up public taxpayers' money and pay for damage caused by a private action. We couldn't do that. However, in the process of relocation, it is our intention to provide the legitimate beneficiaries with a relocation grant because we don't want to set a precedence that the government is going to be liable for damage caused by a third party. Will there be compensation?
One thing with the Prime Minister, guys. The Prime Minister never come tell you no one hear or sugarcoat nothing. I'm going to keep it real. This is the man who did tell you say bitter medicine was coming. Okay? And bitter medicine came. So one of the things that I've always admired about this Prime Minister is he's not a BSer, if you know what I mean. He's gonna tell you as it is. I even laughed at him one time when he debated Dr. Peter Phillips. And when I watched the debate, by the time it was over, I said Peter Phillips won the debate. And when the Prime Minister was interviewed after the debate, you know what he said to the journalists? He said he wished that he was more prepared. Yeah, that's what he said. In other words, I don't feel like I won this. I should have come better than this. You have to appreciate people who are honest, even when they're at a disadvantage, you know? And that's exactly what I said in my mind before he spoke. Mr. Dr. Phillips beat him in the debate because there were things that were said and Dr. Phillips was more knowledgeable on it. But nobody never have to tell him same lose the debate. He was the first one to say it. I should have come more prepared. And that's okay. Now, what he's saying to these people is this. We are not going to be liable for your belongings that were destroyed. And that was a sad thing to see. Can't promise them that. Because I'm telling you guys, you see, with all this development going on across the country, you're going to see, I'm sorry to say, but you're going to see more and more people who are squatters getting asked to move from off people lands. You may even see other people getting demolished. That's what may happen with private owners and people who are occupying their land. Now, this government has to be careful how they go about doing this because not only can the government not set a precedent of, you know, buying back people furniture when they get demolished, especially when people know that they were squatting, because it will become a big heavy burden now upon the government. You understand? So at the very least, he said that, there are lands identified. Government will provide relocation grants, not compensation for damages. Will not compensate residents for property damages, but nothing that public funds cannot be used to cover damage caused through private action. However, he said government intends to provide a relocation grant to legitimate beneficiaries as part of the relocation. I'm curious to see what the relocation grant will look like. Is it to go and rent a place. It's a little vague to me. It is a little vague to me. Um, yeah, people were receptive, and that was nice. You know, I don't know if I should have talk about this tonight or wait until I come back with part three of the democratic socialism experiment. But while we have the time, I think I'll talk about it. And by the way, guys, let me just say congratulations to man of God's daughter, Davine. Davine is a fashion designer and she had her collection on the runway. I think it was last weekend. And then her collection made it to the Jamaica Gleaner. And she's clearly very talented. And I hope that she makes it big in the fashion industry. I think Jamaica must, and I hope that she come over here and talk about fashion sometime. Can me like fashion too. I hope that Jamaica's fashion industry will become a thing, where people in Jamaica are not always looking to shop outside of the country or looking to the China them for bringing stuff. I think Jamaicans are the most creative people. I think they have good potential, whether it be fashion or anything. Jamaicans always outshine. And you know what? I think I have this event coming up, and I think I may want to hire Miss Davine to make me a beautiful dress. So, man of God, if you're listening, congratulations again. And to your beautiful daughter for the good work that she has put in to not just her brand, but to the culture of Jamaica. I want it to be like when I go to Jamaica, me can just walk in a one store and buy something nice. Let me give you one example. When I was in Jamaica in Independence Week, I didn't bring anything with me. I had two events to go to. I had to go to the Grand Gala and I had to go to this event in Atlanta, right? And I say, me now pack nothing for wear to those events. I'm going to buy my clothes in Jamaica. Okay? And I like doing that. Like doing stuff like that. Support the fashion industry in Jamaica if I can. And when I got there, I couldn't really think about where to go in Kingston to get something for that occasion. The event in Atlanta was a formal event, so you need like, you guys saw my dress, um, which I ended up buying when I came back to the United States, even with such little time. And then, the thing that I wore to the Grand Gala, it's because I didn't have another choice. It was nice, it worked out fine for me, but it wasn't really something that I desired because I chose it. I did not have a choice. Um, so I like to see the fashion industry in Jamaica develop more. I know we have the designers. We need more spaces for fashion and, things like that. And that's what I hope to see. So that's it for fashion. Now, guys, for those of you who saw me out of character today, I am not sorry. I make no apology for it. Zero. Today, Isat Buchanan, I don't know what get into him today. You see the video I put up over here a couple of days ago, looking at the leadership, comparing the leadership of Mrs. Vaz and Isaac Buchanan. I guess somebody shared the video with him and he got really upset. He got totally upset. As dear light this morning, he was on his live, disrespecting me, telling lies on me. And I'm not going to take that. I'll take that from I'll take that from people who I have, I would not answer to on a regular day. You understand? The one them want to sip on TikTok, that are aligned to the PNP who come out and talk about a crap and disrespect women and things. I'm not going to take stuff. I'm not going to answer to people like those. The reason why I answer Isat is because Isat is a member of parliament. Isat has a platform. He had over 500 people over there watching. And you're not going to lie on me in front of so many people. You're not going to lie on me just because you're pissed that I mentioned in the video that you have no body of work to show, and you don't. Before I created that piece of content, I looked on your TikTok page. I went all the way back down to the election, and I didn't see anything that you did. I went on Mrs. Vaz's page, and I saw her work. I don't make no apology for it, okay? But you can't be a member of parliament and so influential, and you have a platform, and you have people watching you and listening to you over there speaking lies about me. So, guys, I came out today. I'ma put it down with Isat and talk up a bag of things about him. Because if anybody know me, me's a peacemaker. Me not walk on trouble people. And even if I talk about some of these politicians, I'm not gonna personally attack them. I talk about the politics. I stay on the issue. I don't get personal with people, right? Because if me did get personal with people, that video that I posted about Isat and Anne Marie, I would have said some other things about Isat Buchanan. The things I want to talk to them about him, me that said them in that video. But when you get personal now, Isat, me have to get back personal with you. Me have to get back personal. You don't ever make nobody fool you, thinking that you can use social media to bully me. Don't ever let anybody fool you to think that you can attack me and get away with it. You will not. I'm sorry. You will not. Come here, go down in the gutter with you and a business in me. Go down in the gutter and come back out and bathe. Just like I did today. You PNP men, you're a bunch of bullies. You hate women. You don't like your own mother. Don't come and take out your venom against your own mother, against me. I'm not your mother. I didn't do anything to you. I have nothing to do with your development. Okay? So whatever your personal issues are, whatever your internal issues are, you better go seek a therapy. But don't you dare ever, Isat, think that you can come out here and talk things about me where don't go so. If you talk things where go so, I probably won't even answer you. Come in like drama and argument. Me not like problem. If you say something about me where go so, you won't get a response from me because I don't see a need to argue with you. But when you're going to speak lies over my name and try to defame me, we'll go head to head. We'll go down the road. Me don't know where you come from or who tricked you. Me see you come out here and disrespect so many people. You went on CVM TV, you call Jamaican people a monkey. You disrespect the DPP, where is old enough to be a mother. Those are not things I do. I don't do stuff like that. So me and you not in a no class. My parents taught me well. And I taught my child well. That's not something that she would do. I don't know which animal push out you. If you did have any sense, when you saw that video, if you had any plans to help the people of East Portland with the water that you promised them, you would have said, hey, Nats, let me talk to you about the water situation. That's what you would have done, right? And I wouldn't, I mean, I'm not a fan of you. I think you're very rude and disrespectful. Okay. But if you did come to me and say, me see you make a piece of content and you talk about the water, I would have been receptive. Me no bite. But you didn't take that road. You chose to go on your live and speak lies over me. And me show you today, say me not somebody for you play with. Not when your mother not when your sister or your mother. No incest, none of my family, you know. Don't stop with me. I'm out of Baruch attack it, they know your business. And I'm not even going to mention anything else when I talk about you out here today because I respect my audience. But may I tell you, Isat, don't you dare. Don't you dare. You're telling the people them say, you're not in a government. Jamaican people, my fellow Jamaicans, let me tell you something. If your member of parliament is a member of parliament, whether or not that member of parliament's party is in government, that member of parliament has access to all the resources that all the members of parliament have access to. What they need to do is make the representation. Don't let them trick you. No. Don't let them tell you say them party not in a power so them cannot do anything. Don't accept that from them. They are lying to you. They are lazy. They're only in it to collect your tax dollars in salary. They don't want to do the work. Okay? Don't accept that from them. We've been watching this for a long time. We've seen people in opposition who are good at making representation, make the representation, and get what they're supposed to get for their people. One such member of parliament is Lisa Hanna. She would always get it done. One of the biggest constituencies in Jamaica, when our party in our opposition, she go to and she call up whatever minister she need to, and she get on the phone and talk to them, and she get the stuff for the people and for the constituency. That's how you make representation. But these people who call themselves new breed, aka bad breed, they come into the politics and they don't know what to do. They think it's us versus them. And they don't try to have conversations or have communication with the people who are with the party who is the government. They don't believe in that. They don't believe in talking to each other. They believe in animosity. They believe in telling lies on people. So they have no form of relationship with the people who are actually, or with the party, I should say, that's actually in government. None of them in the parliament, whether them up on the green side or the orange side, are at a disadvantage. They are not at a disadvantage. Every single solitary member of parliament, they equally have the opportunity to get the same resources for you. Whether them party in a government, it does not matter. It is they who must make the representation. So I start. Don't don't think you can bully me. Okay, don't even go down that road. 'Cause if I tell you the truth, to want come out and cuss you today. And not really my style that I haven't done anything like that in so many years. I don't like that for me. I don't like having to lock myself away in half of my house so that my daughter won't hear me. I don't like that. And my daughter a decent somebody. She not even like your bad word cuss around her. But it is sometime when some of the low life people try to attack people, sometimes guys, you have to deal with these people accordingly. You can't let, and that's what I've learned. I've been out here for a long time. I've been out here for years. And I know that if you allow these people to lie on you or smear your character, they become bullies, okay? And what that means is they don't stop. And then next thing you know, you got a whole cult coming after you, trying to bully you off the platform. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let that happen to me. That will never friggin' happen. You, I start have to leave off a ear before me leave off a ear, so you're not going to do that. So what you need to do is go and talk to the people them of East Portland who you promise the water and tell them what you plan to do to get them the water. That's all you got to do. That is all you have to do. It's very simple. You don't need to come argue with me. One thing me not like, is a man we love yap yap and argue with woman. Me not like, Me not like when me grew up in our house with one father where if my mother start then the man then the man I see how my grandfather stay, then the man they not argue with woman. They not do it. Me no know where no alien come from. And if me did tell a lie upon you, because you didn't accuse me of lying on you, you didn't. So I don't know why you thought you had a right to, you know, behave like that. The water, you promised the people them the water. Me never tell a lie upon you. I have the video where you told the people that you know how to get them the water, but you're just not gonna say it because you don't want your idea to be stolen. I have the video. That's why they elected you, right? So go talk to them about the water. I'm gonna continue doing what I do here. No bully is gonna stop me. No name calling is gonna stop me. Okay, and if you call me a name, I'll call you a worse name. Cause anybody when know me, them would tell you something bad pa my mouth. You know, go come out here, come bring down my name. I bring down. I saw me see it. You need help though. There's something very abnormal about you. You don't behave like a normal man. Okay? And I don't deal with men like you. I don't. Because me and you not gonna argue. Real men do real things. And what I mean by that is you saw the video. What you should be thinking, prove me wrong or something. Or prove the people them who sent you to parliament, prove them wrong if they thought you weren't gonna get them the water or something. So the time you took come on social media to do this morning, you should have picked up your phone and call Matthew Samuda or call somebody to ask, hey, what is the plan? And then you could have relayed the plan to your constituents. That's what you should have done this morning. But you did what was lazy. You turn on your live and you started coming after me. And what did that cause? You see me talk out your secret today. Everybody know now. But it when I see you with no woman around here, you know, no picnic around here, but you want to come in an argument with people. Go and fix up your life, brother. Me not deal with people like you, because me no know people like you. Me no know a man like you. We come in a politics and come in a public life and behave one kind of way. Right? When you not raise no kids around here, you not even have to be a biological child. When you not raise no kids or set no example around here. When not promote some kind of style when not good for the youths them of the country. Not just you, but you and your organization. You understand? And me I try my very best to restrain myself from talking certain things on here because you are a very disgusting person. But I also see you as someone who needs help. I mean, I don't know if they can fix you at this point in time, but I swear then drop it on your head one at a time then. I don't know which part then drop it on your head. Then drop it on your head, man. Something wrong with you. So, when you're ready to talk to me again, if you ever feel like it, come to me about the water. Okay? Come to me about the water. Nobody come with no tracing with me. And nobody come try to tell a lie upon me, because you can't tell a lie upon me. You cannot tell any lies on me. At least none that's gonna stick. Okay? So you wanna deal with substance, because you know we deal with substance over here. Come talk to me about the water. And as I said, real men do real things. So if you were a real man, that's what you would do. You do the action. And talking about action, go try and outwork the previous member of parliament. How about that? Get off social media, get off TikTok, I mean, and instead of sitting on TikTok every day, because it's not like you need the money. You guys are making probably $20 million. You don't need to be on TikTok, but you are starved of attention. Every chance you get. Nobody else does that. Nobody, no other member of parliament. Don't you see that you are the outlier? Something is wrong with you. You are so starved of attention. You know what would solve that problem? Get a wife. Get a wife with a personality and have a child or two. It's not too late for you. You know, have a child or two. Let's see you do something big. Let us see you step up like a man and do what men do. You like to talk about your dad and you like to brag about your dad and stuff. Come on. Bring up the next generation. Your father time gone. Carry on the DNA, carry on the next generation. Do that and beat we, man. Come on, not supposed to even argue with you in a Isat. Me never come out here have no whole heap of picnic, but me know say me left me mark here. So if me dead tomorrow, me left my mark here. So no, me not joke. Me not joke. Him can't go get the, if you're lonely and you want attention and the things them, go and get yourself a wife. Go get yourself a wife. And you'll have a nice little honeymoon phase and new love, fresh love. One of them there. You know about them there? I look more from this way, so you have a child. And we congratulate you. And send you gifts and baby shower stuff. Nothing wrong with that. Prove us wrong. I mean, come on, you need something to do. You need something in your life. You need something else. You need something else. I mean, if you're not going to spend all your time being a good member of parliament, at least go get a friggin' wife and some kids. Or at least tell Jamaica why you are not doing that. Tell Jamaica why. Don't come about me, sir. Don't come about me. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say to you, but the work must go on. Now, guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about this face to face. This argument that Jamaican people are not doing well economically because development now have no effect or whatever. And I'm just gonna tell my fellow Jamaicans this. Yes, so when I see people are come to and I tell you about development, now help the individuals in Jamaica and and sufferation, don't take no argument from them. Tell them one thing. Bring your data. Bring your data. No in a no argument with nobody if them not have no data to show Because what? Mouth make for say anything. Mouth make for say anything. Anybody can come tell you anything. And I'm speaking about this because, as you guys would have heard me say yesterday, um, a woman on social media, I'm not even gonna say her name, not that important, but a woman on social media said, following Auntie Dana's statement, she said, yes, she acknowledged that development is going on and she commended the government for the development. But however, she said Jamaican people are not benefiting Our Jamaican people are suffering. So I said, wait a minute. After I made the first video saying, if we're talking about the last 10 years, according to the data, we had a poverty rate in 2015 of 21%. And right now, poverty is 8.2% in Jamaica. So that was my first instinct. It was when somebody talk about whether or not a country is doing good. My first instinct is to go find some data. And with that, it shows you that there's less poverty in the country over the last 10 years. And then when you look at the people who are talking, they feel like because they are on foreign soil and in a country that is categorized a first world country, they think it's okay to be talking down on Jamaica as if poverty don't exist in the United States. I live here. There's poverty here. And according to the data, the poverty rate in the US is about 10.2%. They say this is one of the wealthiest countries in the world. And I did not mention the poverty rate here to compare them to Jamaica. I mentioned the poverty rate to say where you are, poverty exists there too. And there's constant development there too. You're talking about people in a Jamaica can't own a house or can't own one of the house them where built up down there. Do you own a house in the United States? You don't. So you are no better off than the people in Jamaica who don't own a house because you don't own one in the country where you live. Anyway, about the data, I think I posted it here. I don't remember all of it off the top of my head. But I did go and find some data because you see me, you're not gonna get me in and out back and forth with people. Cause guys, my time is very, very precious. And I'm careful who I give my time and energy to. And anybody will get my time and energy, consider yourself lucky, you know? So instead of going back and forth with her, I just made a post which I shared here. And I'm just gonna tell you guys what the data says. Because you see, you cannot argue with people like those because they will never come and talk to you about data. They will never, they don't want to have a conversation that is data driven. They want to have a conversation based on their opinion. And we all have opinions. But when you're talking about economy and the people, you have to use the data. Now, let me just tell you guys what the data says. According to the data, you know what? For those of you who haven't seen the post, let me just tell you what I said in the post. Do not tag me for attention. Tag me with data. Okay? Because she came back and she tagged me and me not in it. But I made this post, which I'm sure she saw. How can one acknowledge and commend Jamaica's national development, but continue to insist that the people are no better off than they were 10 years ago without presenting any data? That is not analysis. Saying that the people are not better off is a measurable claim, and it can be tested using measurable indicators such as poverty, employment or unemployment, consumption, wages, and access to services. And according to the data, Jamaica's poverty rate declined from 21% in 2015, like I said, to 8.2% in 2023. And it went down to 7.4 in 24, back up to 8.2 now because of the hurricane. Unemployment was approximately 13.5% in 2015. Staten reported 3.7% in April of 2026. So that's roughly a 10% decrease in unemployment. National minimum wage, we know that moved from 6,200 in 2016, and it's now at 17,000. It's almost triple the minimum wage. The PIOJ reported that real consumption, not merely nominal income, increased across every income group. The greatest increase occurred among the poorest 40% of Jamaicans. And in closing, I said, this does not mean that every Jamaican is comfortable and that housing is affordable for everyone or that the country has solved inequality. These challenges also exist in the United States and other places or other first world countries that when these people come and want to in an argument with you, just ask them, where's the data? Yeah, ask them where's the data. And if they cannot present any data, don't waste your time talking to them because it is a waste of time going back and forth with people when I have no data. Let me tell you this. Lately, you go to Jamaica over the last few years. Let's say you're visiting. Sometimes you don't even remember that you're not in a foreign country. The atmosphere, it feels like you are abroad because things move fast. I mean, you have to get in a like rural Jamaica. Feel feel like you're really and truly there, Jamaica. You get goods and services in Jamaica that you get abroad. You know, first time certain things you couldn't get at Jamaica. Your family member bring it down or whatever. And other things, the unemployment rate that dropped, the minimum wage and all of that. So there's really no argument. Some people, when they have an agenda, they refuse to accept data and facts. Anybody with cuss data and cuss facts, don't trust them. That's what it comes down to. So I hope that in the near future, these numbers will improve, for Jamaicans. And that's all we ever want to see is our country get better. I'm not going to say at the very least she acknowledged that development is going on because you're not genuine if you're saying the country is developing, but the people are doing bad and I won't look at the fact or the data that people's lives have improved over the last 10 years. I'm not saying that there aren't challenges. Even right here in the US, those who don't fall in the category of poor or poverty, they still have challenges. They still do. And likewise in Jamaica, you're going to have people who don't fall in that category of poor and impoverished, but they have challenges. It's just a way of life. And like I said, most of the people who come on social media about Jamaica and try to make it seem like me or one of them say Jamaica worse than Haiti. Let me tell you something about those people. Those are the people who they have made the decision to live and die in the United States or wherever they are. And some of them, they would love the opportunity to go back to Jamaica, but they just can't do it. Either because they're stuck or they just can't afford it or they're scared to make the move. It's those people. And oftentimes, it is not those who are being productive, are foreign. It's those who are working menial jobs, those who are probably on welfare, and those who are probably surviving only on, very menial income. It's always those people. The first time I came to the United States, 1999, I arrived here, it was in September. little cold. And I never forgot when we got to where we were going to live. I was blown away. I was like, wow, wow, watch foreign, New York. And I was like, okay. And then when morning came, and me look outside, me I said, boy, me not love this at all. Me not love it. But okay, let's give it a try. Like I said, I've lived a good life here in the United States, but um there's no way that I am gonna talk down on Jamaica because all I've seen all aspects of the United States. I have seen and interacted with and observed, from the very poorest conditions to the middle class to the upper class. And I just understand that look here, it's everywhere. Everywhere you go, there are gonna be different classes of people and situations based on all sort of thing. You have some people, some of us Jamaicans, when we travel back to Jamaica, we travel back to Jamaica to hype and show off and show say, we traveled. I don't travel like that. It doesn't matter where I go. When I travel, it's always a learning experience, even when I go back to my own country in Jamaica, because I'm always observing, always observing. That's how I deal with traveling. And that's why I can confidently say that Jamaica is going in the right direction because when you look at the pace at which people move, um, which it can be better. Can we talk to you about that already about productivity? We were talking about over here with Jamaica 411 about the productivity issue in Jamaica and the lack of urgency in some cases, which should get better. But yeah, I observe those things. I watch how people access things and what's available and things like that. And Kingston in particular is almost at the pace of any US city. Okay. So those who use their time, those who are in the United States or elsewhere, who come online and use their time to talk down on Jamaica. And some of them, people in Jamaica are living better than them. Just the truth. So those people, if you guys want to move back to Jamaica, don't just do it. Or try to, put yourself in a situation where you can do it. But don't come out here and be bitter because no found run away from Jamaica, left everything, and now no see the country I develop. No found would have love to go back. And you'd be a liar if you say that you left Jamaica a while ago and you say, oh, the country are the good and you don't want to go back. Lie you're telling. Well, me personally, I love to see the country I develop. Good look a while, we not see certain development I go on. You understand? But we don't need to be haters. We don't need to be calling down doom and gloom on the people. Because let me tell you, Jamaican people are happy. Even some with very little, they're happy. So I don't see the need for Una comp on social media. I mean, people are going to have their opinion. But the greatest thing about it is there's people like us who can tell them, say, don't come talk down on the people without data. Come with the data. And if you don't have any data, then we don't have a conversation. Um, Let me see. I think I'm gonna open the phone line here. Me a second, guys. Greetings, Jamaica, and warm greetings to Jamaicans across the diaspora and friends of Jamaica around the world. Welcome to Jamaica Politics Uncovered 2.0, hosted by Natalie. This is your platform for truth, credible information, breaking news, Jamaican politics, public policy, and social justice. Here, we go beyond the headlines. We challenge misinformation, examine the facts, and hold our leaders accountable. Every story deserves more than a headline. It deserves evidence, history, perspective, and honest discussion. From Jamaica to the diaspora, we are connecting our people through fearless commentary and meaningful conversations about our country's future. Join the Jamaica movement. Join the Country First movement. This is Jamaica Politics Uncovered 2.0, where truth matters and conversation becomes impact. We are about purpose, perspective, and impact. Alrighty. So the phone line, if anybody want to call and say something, there's the phone number for WhatsApp. You're welcome to. For those of you who are just joining, Prime Minister and Government of Jamaica met with the people of Cooper's Pen today. This is what they had to say.
Appreciate your presence here today. I also appreciate the solution which you come up with for us. And you take the time out today to walk and to come down to us. We are humbled and see the people along with myself get some answers. The politicians before, they all tried. But Mr. Chang also came and met with us, years ago. And he said he will try and help us. But here is the help today. It's never too late. We are grateful. What we are asking also is that before the relocation, we are asking you, we want to make sure we are relocated before the demolition take place. We have not get any assurance about that.
Very
so
good
that
question.
is the question.
So it's a very good question you have asked. Now let me be clear. I have not made any contact with the other party involved in this matter. I don't know if any other arm of government has, but I'm not certain, authoring, I don't know. My ministry has not, and I'm not aware of any other that has. And for good reason, we don't want to get involved in the private dispute, especially since the court has already ruled. We see our job as protecting you with the humanitarian issues that have occurred and to treat with the problem of your relocation. However, I'm certain this will go public, and I'm certain that the other parties involved would see this, and therefore they should act. Yes, they should act with compassion, because clearly the government has provided a solution. All right? Now, but just to make sure that there is no misinterpretation, I believe, Audrey, I'll ask my ministry through its legal department to notify the other party involved in this matter of the intentions of the government.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, guys. So that was good. I mean, despite what you see online, despite what you see people saying online, I find that whenever the Prime Minister of Jamaica is on the ground, the people of Jamaica, they tend to show him a lot of love. You don't really see people being hostile toward the Prime Minister when he's out there interacting with them. And that says a lot. That says a lot. Um, the way that he greets the people, you know, me didn't want me gonna hear something about me that wonder if me fi do it now or wait. But while me there, it kinda early still. I could have me gonna hear it still, but I probably should do a video upload instead because you see Jamaica now, and I'm talking about mainstream media. I think it's gonna be a very good day in Jamaica when some people come off our airwaves. I heard a depiction of democratic socialism at that time in Jamaica by a man named Simon Crosskill. And I am so glad that I decided to do that series about democratic socialism here. Because with people like Simon Crosskill, who is of that age group, and the way that he framed it, leaving out the cost, the damage, the catastrophe, leaving out the fact that the economic issues and the fallout of democratic socialism started before Michael Manley took this radical foreign policy position. Simon failed deliberately, I suppose, to tell the people that before Michael Manley started walking with Castro and the rest of man them, that Jamaica was already feeling it. But no, he came with the PNP argument that it is because of the United States why democratic socialism failed or why Manley failed. But you know what? I have a recording of Michael Manley and what he said long after his time in office. He was doing an interview. Let me just take this call real quick, guys. Hello, good night. Yes, hi, welcome.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. You're live.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, I've been busy most of this week. Was my birthday on Wednesday.
Oh,
No, not Wednesday, Thursday. So I was, busy this week. But I just saw. I think it was this morning. I think I was watching Dujon this morning when I saw you had a picture of you and the person that you're having this kind of back and forth with,
mm-hmm.
and it's when you're talking to someone, you should know who you're talking to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because these people are pigs, social media pigs,
Mm.
and yeah. The reason why she came out so strong on this topic is because of who said it, which was Miss Donna. And she and Miss Donna are enemies. They have been for years. If anybody, watch Jamaica's social media, if Donna came out and said something good about Jesus, she would have a problem with it.
Lord
Yeah,
have mercy.
enemies. Yeah, over their charity and who give charity and whatever, the back and forth. So don't go down in the mud with her.
Mm. Okay. Mm.
Another thing, when she came out and was talking about Jamaica, which doesn't friggin' make any sense because if the economy, if it's good, then obviously more people are gonna get jobs, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What's happening? And I'm like, oh, I see what the problem is now. She left Jamaica from late 80s, maybe early 90s, and did not make anything. They went to America, made it their home, so comfortable that that she's a ex-prison, she go prison, right?
Okay. Bucks.
Prison in the BVI for carrying drugs.
Okay.
So
Mm-mm.
with somebody that they are petrified when they look at Jamaica and they see the development. They're absolutely petrified that look, I'm being left behind.
So doesn't it make you? I mean, how long have you been in England?
Since October 2000.
Does it make you feel good or want to move back to Jamaica when you see how the country is developing?
When I left Jamaica, Jamaica was in a bad state, very bad state.
Greetings,
When I
Jamaica,
came
and
here,
warm
we weren't
greetings
not
to
in England. We
Jamaicans
were not
across.
called Jamaicans. It was Yardies, yeah, which
Mhm.
was not a good word. It was meant to be black to come from nowhere. But if I say to someone from Jamaica, they look at you like, this impoverished, you poor impoverished person.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally had to change my accent when I came to England so that no one knew I'm from Jamaica. Because you could be this most brilliant person. The moment they know that you're from Jamaica, their respect goes literally down to the ground.
Oh, what you say? And a different thing now? Mm-hmm.
When I came here, my mom, you know what? You made me laugh just now when you said you went to America and you said and you looked at the house and you were like, what the hell is this? Yeah. When I came here October 26, 2000, when the car pulled up at my mom's, she had a temporary house. When I came out the car, and I thought maybe she was stopping somewhere to maybe, to say hi to someone. She said, aren't you coming out? And I'm like, coming out where? And she like, this where you live? And I'm like, I beg your pardon? You know, what is this? You took me out of Jamaica. You took me out of you took me out of a 5-bedroom house to this nonsense.
Oh God. Mm-mm.
I went in, I didn't eat anything, and I sat on the bed and I wrote out my plan because I'm like, there is no goddamn way I am going to leave my grandmother's house where when I went there in 1987, I saw my grandmother with ice maker fridge, yeah, to come live in this foolishness. And the next morning I said to my mom, there ain't no way I'm living in this nonsense. And I said, you know what? We just started. We just, let's get it, whatever. If I have to work 23 hours per day, that's what we're going to do. Well, let's go back to what Jamaicans or place in England. I'm not lying to you. No one respected us. Jamaica was just, oh yeah, it's just an island down there full of impoverished people. If you came here, and again, before visas was introduced, the most of the Jamaicans were here were the ones from the ghetto because they didn't need a visa to come here.
Just the money or the invitation. Mm-hmm.
Just the invitation. So the type of Jamaicans that were here naturally, I never knew. I had no clue because when I was growing up, I heard about Jamal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I came here, because my mom was a teacher, she was teacher in the day and cleaning manager in the night kind of morning. 99% of them on the job couldn't read,
Backside, a Jamaican then?
Jamaican from 3 miles because I'm from Jamaica, but I learned the ghetto part of Jamaica when I came to England because I was so detached from it. I never saw it. So when I came here, that's when I learned it. And I found it fascinating because my mom's boss would say to her, Sharon, are you from the same Jamaica as these people?
Jesus.
We are like, Natalie, when I tell you, most of them couldn't read. There was like only 3 of them could read. 2 of them was from Manchester,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 from Clarendon. The ones from Kingston couldn't read.
Mm-mm. So how many years later?
Very crafty. They were so crafty. They there was this job. There was this job where one of the executives, they have their weekly home that they live in.
Mm-hmm.
My mom wanted one cleaner to go there on a Friday morning to work, but because that person would have to leave a note, she needed to send one of the cleaners that could read. Natalie, the ones that couldn't read, so them go tell the Irish boss said the one that can't read now no papers.
Jesus, Father.
Yeah,
Wow.
they didn't the papers either, Natalie. And the woman, she couldn't understand. And one day, she was talking to my mom and she said, Sharon, how long was slavery for? And my mom said 300 and something years. And she said, oh, and now I know why it was so long.
Wow.
Because of your own kind. They would stab each other in the back to get somewhere.
Crabbing a barrel. Mm-hmm.
I've never seen these people. They are open. So let's go back to when I look at Jamaica now.
26 years later.
When naturally when I look, because as a kid, I used to sit and look at the national anthem and said, which part of these words you not see not manifest on this on the national anthem yet? I don't see nothing. Yeah, and when I sit down and I can go out there and I can let someone know that I'm Jamaican. In England now, the word Yardie is not used. Nobody calls a Jamaican.
Greetings, Jamaica, and warm greetings.
You know, like when you come from the poorhouse and now your family is doing well and everybody will look up to you. That is what it is now. So I cannot see, I don't understand when someone is saying they can't look at Jamaica or look at Andrew Holness's thinking for Jamaica and they can't see it. Are you that blind?
So what is the attitude today of the people who are there now from Jamaica? Because I'm sure it's different, right?
When I came here, the only time you would see a Jamaican, any form of representation that this person is Jamaican, you know, those are the things that you put over your rear view mirror.
Yeah.
Thing you would see to say, oh, that person is Jamaican. Something. I work with a Jamaican where I work in my school, yeah? Every day, hat Jamaica, scarf Jamaican. When you walk around the place, you know a Jamaican because they're wearing. It's like nobody now. They're not hiding it. They have to have on something to tell you that I am Jamaican.
So people are more respected now. Jamaicans are more respected now over there socially.
That's the word actually respected.
Okay, that's good.
Like I said, when I came, I wiped my accent out because we were not respected. We were this, oh, you're running from this, you know, whatever, poverty. And I'm like, back in those days, Jamaicans were living better. You know, they were playing, Miss Kitty was playing that song, that thingy. You know what we used to hear at 12 noon, sweet hours of prayer.
Yeah, man.
Where were you as a child when you heard this?
12 o'clock.
And you know what tells me? When I think about those people that came, that left Jamaica in the Windrush or in the 70s and 80s, they never get to enjoy that part of their culture. You know what I mean? Yeah. They don't have those memories to look back on. So when I look at them over here now, and they are the ones, like one of my mom's friends, she left St. Anne when she was 12. That was in the early 70s, right? And you could not tell that woman anything about Jamaica. She thought Jamaica was frozen in time. She had her kids, and she just pumped negative in them about Jamaica. And one of the daughters one day got up and said, you know, I'm going to go to Jamaica. And when the girl went and came back, she said, Mom, all these years you have been telling us about Jamaica and how it's this and this, that. That's not what Jamaica is. When the daughter took her back to Jamaica, she said, oh, I'm going to go back to where I live to go and see my friends. When she went back there, this friend is a nurse, this friend is a doctor, this friend is a whatever, and she was ashamed. They don't have anything. And it's not really talking anything bad about Jamaica now. It's because they have nothing there.
Me know, man. Me know. Me figure it out. Trust me. I figured it out.
People from going.
Yes, exactly. Bad mind, capital of the world. For sure.
You see that 22-year-old girl that got her mortgage?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt quite a few people, you know, back home My mom has had quite a few. Natalie, I don't know one Jamaican in my circle that's not a homeowner.
Okay, see, that's good.
Even my brother and his wife, they don't know anyone who are not homeowners.
Mm.
Some people come abroad and they get caught up. You know what I mean? Because as soon as I came here, I had my what do you call it, my NCB account.
Mm.
Putting money in there.
Mhm.
I kept putting money. Then I got my Jamaica, my Jamaica national account. I kept putting money non-stop. But even as when my son was born, I kept putting money and whatever. If I have to go to Jamaica now, run to Jamaica, I don't need no spending money.
Mm.
I don't need accommodation. I have my house there. I never throw a stone behind me.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I think you've called before. I've talked to you before, haven't I? Okay, I remember you. Yeah.
That's talking to you. Don't go down in the mud with her because she have a few screws loose.
Yeah, no, something not do that. Mm.
And hide our hand.
Okay.
Just say what you have to say.
Mhm.
Just leave it.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, yeah, ma'am. You know, so one of my subscribers, one of our subscribers, he was telling me his story recently about how he ended up in Jamaica. I'm always curious about these stories. I hear an accent on people, they're in Jamaica. Where did you come from? How did you get here? That's always my question. So, anyway, he told me his story. He said his parents were from the long time people in we got England. And he said he was born, him and his siblings them born at England. Let me take this call and I'll finish telling you the story. Hello, good night.
Yes, good night, Natalie.
Hi, what?
Hi. I mean, was people like God with him. These people are, I mean, what I was looking, these people let it seem that they they want you to speak about it. No, something is going on in the people. So we have to speak about it. So you might be, I don't want you to speak about it. You need to know about what's happening in our country.
Right.
You need to know what's happening. They are to see that. When I look back and see where Bunting was at, it will take different intervention. These people, when we look back on it, they're wicked enough because you say it would have to take divine intervention to tear down the crime and all of that. And our Prime Minister have done it. And you don't even have the honesty, I mean, I don't know the basic. They don't even have the basic courtesy to say, okay, we have been struggling with crime for years, and I'm thankful that they have done something. They have dealt with the crime. Across the board, they don't want to hear you talk about the Prime Minister. They don't want to hear if you talk, they want you to feel like, oh, you're not supposed to talk about politics. If an artist talk about politics, they make it look like, no. In their times, it was, I mean, it was total, chaos and tragedy. murder, I mean, the murder capital of the world, this and all of those things. Know that we are minusing all the negatives, correcting all the wrong that has been done to the nation. Because the truth is, Tracy Chapman would have said, we have raped, the PNP have raped Jamaica. They have raped her and left her stranded. And when I look and see our Prime Minister take her up, clean her off, put her together, and giving her back her dignity and everything, her pride, her this and all that, you're saying that he's not supposed to be, I mean, commended for it. They have raped Jamaica. The way they have raped Jamaica, you would think that there's no more Jamaica.
Greetings, Jamaica, and warm greetings. Them no want hear you talk on about. They know. And the first me see this, the people them no want hear you talk anything good about the country. If you want to get them ticked off, say something like, "Oh, crime is down." Jesus have mercy.
And I've never seen it. And the thing is, what makes me proud is to see that it is a traditional Jamaican individual that is leading our country to the, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
To greatness. The other thing that I was looking at, they're using psychology because as the court document has stated and the judge in the case has stated, the owner of the land down there in Cooper's 10, it is not a traditional wealthy family. So when you see them fighting, the truth is they're fighting the non-traditional Jamaican land ownership. They're not fighting for the people of Cooper's Pen. They're fighting against the man that is not a traditional Jamaican landowner. He does not come from the family of slave owners.
Mm-hmm.
The other point I want to talk about is that every time I hear these people talk about Mr. Honest, thief, and this and that, how come? And he started off as with nothing. And we are, the Jamaicans are proud to say, okay, we're proud of him. I'm not saying we're not supposed to be proud, but the truth is, I'm not one of the proud ones. I'm proud that, yes, it is helping Jamaica, but looking back at what they have done to Jamaica, get where the stewards have done to Jamaica to get where they are, and their mouth silent them because he is what? He is a white man. I've seen the trend where these PNP people are opening the doors for as long as you're white, as long as to me they're all suffering from inferiorizing, and not only inferiorizing. They have Stockholm syndrome because the party that inflicted pain and devastation on the nation, they are supporting them because they're in themselves. They feel like there's no other way and there should not be no other way because if I choose a party and a party fails me, I'm going to turn away from them. I'm going to say, I cannot stay with you. And I want all of the MPs and everybody to understand that it doesn't, yes, our Prime Minister is doing his part, but you people need to continue. If you're not doing it, you need to pull up your socks and work because you don't think so because Andrew is doing his work. And if you're not doing the work, you feel like you're not going to get the same result and the same support, you people are not going to get it. So this man is doing what he's doing and take a page from his book and learn. Don't get full on yourself when you reach because what I've noticed with this man is full of humility. This man is humbled. This man is very humbled. And the fact that he has it, as I said, he has humility. I mean, that is one of the greatest characters to me for any individual. That is what determines you as a genuine human being. That is a main characteristic of a human being. And if it does not possess that, and I don't see where those people possesses it. What they're trying to do is every time you talk about the good thing that is happening, you're saying project is who is working on the project. If nobody, what I expect the opposition to do is to say, okay, projects are due, things are happening and so on. What we would like for the government to do is to stay, pass a law where as long as there's sufficient, employable workers, we're not going to hire outsiders to do the job. These are some of the things that the opposition should say, okay, these are the things that we need to, all of these are some fine tuning that need to be done. So that if another government come in place, they can't just fire a man. As long as he's qualified, he has to be there. If we do not have, if we don't have sufficient persons for whatever position, yes, we can hire outsiders, but we need to ensure that the Jamaicans are employable so we can employ them as long as they become employable. And that's what the government is doing. These are the things that,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's another opposition? What are your purpose of the opposition? And the
To
other thing
obstruct.
that
Their position, as they've demonstrated, is to obstruct. That's all we've seen from them.
we have seen from them. And then this man now,
And lie.
saying that his party is not in government. What I would like to ask these like person that don't, you might not know much, but look at this. Check this out. You are not in government, but you're not complaining about your pay.
No, sir. Lie.
People are complaining about your work that you're supposed to be doing.
That's the talking point. I'm not in government. You're in the parliament. You're getting a salary.
He's not in government. What if the small man should understand? The small man should have asked him, say, what is the year you complain about your pay?
Well, that's why we're talking about this.
His pay or their pay, you would have said to yourself, okay, it means that it's bad. Because if you must say I try defending pay, it might can't defend nothing else. But they are getting paid comfortable on time,
Mhm.
right, everything. But the job that is to be done or the job that you're supposed to perform, you cannot perform it because you're not in. So why take the position then? Why take the position? We need Jamaicans need to wise up. I mean, those who, as I said to you, they tend to have this thing about them. They don't want the artist to speak. They don't want the artist to stand for something. If an artist see Andre doing something, he then get terrified because them are going to say, oh, you are this and you are that and all these things. I remember the days when the Rasta them and all of these people used to come out and say blood shedding, man are dead, this, that, in a them song. So what the government is doing, is wipe out all of the song them with all of the song them where you hear the negativity. Who you hear a sing negative song, them know what them a do. And when them get dead, them know how. Because them say you live by the gun, you die by the gun.
Mhm. All right. Well,
Otherwise, from that, you used to have a random person. Mother just send them shop, just like T.O.K. to hurry up and come back. It wasn't no gunman. It was a normal lady just send her son to the shop, and she just hear say that is what happened to him. But nowadays, it always have to do with, if you hear anything of that sort, no, it always have to do with that person involvement in something. You understand what I'm saying? It's not, I mean, I'm not saying you might have a one or two instances where it's off. But I remember the days I used to live at Almonton. I remember when I moved to Portmore and I was going to school when you have to walk down Princess Street and so, and the amount of gunfire and something you have to lay down in the gutter.
those were the
They have to
days.
lay down in the gutter side. I remember they're asking. done to speak to the crowd.
Gunman government for sure.
Done
Mm-hmm.
the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're coming from. You wonder who they are, especially the elders. Them disgust me.
And say with the decrease in crime rate, even right here on the YouTube platform, there are people out here who build their channel on crime stories in Jamaica and gangs and stuff, and the thing dry up for them because there aren't that many gangs anymore. There's nothing really to talk about. Yeah.
They have to manipulate it, which it's doing fake story, misinformation, and all of that. They have to. That's what they have to do to get persons to draw persons to. You understand?
Uh,
I remember when my brother was a vendor in Colonel Charles Arcade. And when them say them, I remember them, my brother them calling country. And at the time, I so much country. And then when them kill about two country, and them say, you know what, the two of them are the wrong person.
you're there.
Only to realize that it was really my brother they wanted. Because my brother was one of the top seller downtown. And such man, same one, some barrel of shoes and all these things.
Extortion was a big thing. Yeah.
Let me tell you, man, sometimes I wish that, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I lay down in my bed and I wish that the country could have just part, man, and them living at the destruction where them create. But, you know, life is not like that. We are going to overcome.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Same to you. Thank you. I've never seen a situation where people genuinely have a problem with other people speaking well of their country. Never seen it until now. As I was telling you, one of my friends, like I said, he and his siblings were born in England because their parents moved from Jamaica to there. Anyway, he said that his mom and his father went back to Jamaica to retire. And one day him just decide him a go move, him a go pack him stuff and him a go move, go try life in a Jamaica. His parents are getting old, stuff like that. And he said, when I landed in Jamaica, I have not been back to the UK. They say, so you just left the UK where you were born, where you went to school, and he said, yeah. And he's enjoying himself in Jamaica. And he said the only regret he has is that he did not move to Jamaica sooner. Hello, good night.
No, Natalie, good night to all the listeners and viewers, you know?
Yes, hi, welcome.
Yeah, just a couple of things I want to um, speak on tonight. Firstly, you know, Isaac Buchanan should never have been in our parliament. And for me, this is the main reason why he should not have been in our parliament. Isaac Buchanan is a twice convicted drug dealer. On his second conviction, he spent over 8 years in a United States federal prison.
You don't believe that people can be rehabilitated?
Well, of course they can, but this is it for me. Set aside his conviction, his criminal conviction. To have spent over 8.5 years in a US federal prison takes serious psychological toll on the person.
I'm sure it does.
And for me, that is the reason why he should not have been in our parliament, because that 8.5 year stint in a US federal prison made him emotionally and mentally unstable.
Mm.
And the conviction aside, as I say, people can be rehabilitated. So I'm not even talking about the conviction. It is the state of mind that he would have been transformed into by being inside that federal prison for so long.
So what about like Cartel and Bujo, who did their time in different places? Like Bujo did his time in the US, Cartel in Jamaica. You see them now that they're free. Do you see a difference between them and Isat?
Well, look, first of all, I'm not going to speak much about Carter case because he spent his time here in a Jamaican prison.
Okay.
And we know that being in a Jamaican prison with his stature, he must have been given certain privileges. I'm sure about that. So he wouldn't have suffered any sort of emotional damage. The emotional damage I'm talking about, and you say you study psychology, you must have come across information of what prison time does.
I'm sure. Oh, yeah. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying it. I'm just looking at other people who have been down the same road and see if it is the prison time that's the problem, or just persons who are just the way they are. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I've been asked about the cartel and
I do see what you're saying.
okay.
He seems to have a proclivity for criminal behavior because he wasn't convicted once, he was convicted twice.
So you don't think he should be in the parliament?
No, he could have gone on and tried to practice and become a great lawyer, but not to represent the people where he writes laws and debates laws.
Mm.
He's not fit for that role. He's just not. And this must never happen again in our history where we have a full-time convicted criminal sitting in the House of Representatives, writing laws and debating laws to rule over Jamaican people.
Well, that's
It
PNP has definitely
it was a mistake.
PNP.
You see, it only could have happened in the People's National Party.
I was just gonna say this, they have set this new precedent. I mean, it could very well happen in the future because it is a new precedent. I mean, it's kind of like, to me, it is a trial. Okay. So you've already tried this thing with this guy. And unfortunately and sadly, you may have people who found themselves in a situation where them do time like him and them something there. And maybe then genuinely rehabilitate and change themselves. In my opinion, I don't think Isaac Buchanan has changed, or the damage done was so grave that it just did not make his personality one that is pleasant for the job and the role that he has now.
But that's exactly my point.
Okay.
A person who sits and write laws, somebody with his track record, should never have been allowed to enter into the House of Representatives. It was a mistake. It is a mistake. Right?
Well, prison or not prison, the things them will come out time out, right? Make we look on it. First thing that was a red flag for me was when he sat on national TV and referred to Jamaican people as monkey. I mean, even a 5-year-old child wouldn't do that. And especially not on national TV, right? Hold on there. Even a 5-year-old child, I can tell you, you put them in front of cameras on national TV, they would never do that. So it makes you wonder, is it that ISAT is dealing with immaturity, underdevelopment, or he's just not aware? You know what I'm saying? And then him come back again with something with Paula Llewellyn. With Paula Llewellyn, he goes on somebody's program to do that. And it's like, dude, you don't have no sense of self and respect for other people and them. So, and it's just time and time. Same thing with encouraging people to so-called chat the line, like the Prime Minister said. These are just not things that adults do. So what is the problem? Me not gonna tell you say a prison cause it, but there's definitely a personality disorder that we're looking at with Isaac Buchanan.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you always talk about Dr. Sophia Longmore and her comments about Mark Golding.
Mhm.
My real conclusion, my firm conclusion is this: that Mark Golding and Isaac Buchanan have mental deficiencies that have not yet been diagnosed. That is from my observation of those two individuals, especially Mark Golding. Mark Golding has some mental deficiencies that have not yet been diagnosed.
Why you say that? Give us an example. Just for
Well,
the
the
audience.
first thing is the big stone issue.
Oh. Mm.
I don't need to go. We don't need to go any further than that.
Well, sir, to be honest with you, Mark Golding was not the only one behind that. You had Dayton Campbell who was behind it, and other members of the PNP. So, I mean, are you?
Look at it now. Look at it now. Mark Golding. But you can't come ask me to do anything in a Natalie.
Me know, man, me know. But
You can't just have a good idea and come to me and pitch it. Like I said, no, Natalie, no, that's not me. It's not proper. I won't do that. For him to not have the ability to see that this is just going to be so wrong.
as an Englishman, as an Englishman,
Perfectly, I don't need to go over it.
yeah,
You said it several times as well.
yeah, it's that he's an Englishman, and him probably not think as a boy with the history of slavery here and me being an Englishman fully. In a look good for me at all of one shackles over one black Rasta man. It's like there's an absence of the awareness of self.
Lacking wisdom. Lacking wisdom.
Lacking wisdom.
For me, it wasn't a wise move. It's just not a wise move.
Yes, yeah.
Your last caller that called a while ago. To echo, I'm going to echo her sentiments, but this is what I'm going to say.
Mm.
And I'm being quite sincere and unbiased here. Based on what the PNP has done to Jamaica during all of their time in government, the 70s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, and the one term of Portia Simpson Miller. They should never come back to power, Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a doctor, and I am a patient. And the first time I come to you for a very minor ailment, when I left you, I left with 4 more ailments. I'm said to myself, all right, I'm going to try her again. I'm going to try her again. And when I left the office, I have stage 4 cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to come back a third time. And when I left the third time, I am terminally ill on a bed. Why on earth would I even look in your direction already? Again. And I'm saying, until the PNP in their current form right now must never see power again in Jamaica.
Not in this.
Them reform, them do something, but as they have been, as they are now, they should never see power in this country again.
Let me ask you this though. Do you see a difference between Mark Golding and Damian Crawford or any other members of parliament on their side?
No, I do not, because Damien revealed himself during the last campaign for election in terms of who he is. He's easily led. He is easily misled. He is prone to gimmicks. The running of a country has no time for gimmickry or laughter or joking. Not with the history that we've had in Jamaica.
Mm.
We need somebody with a serious mentality to deal with the serious challenges that we have to deal with. And for Damien to go on the political platform leading up to the elections of 2025 and behave in the manner that he did, running out there with slippers, wiping car glass and all that kind of thing, that who has time for that? Who has time for that when you need a country to develop and progress, to deal with all the important, serious issues that we have to deal with in Jamaica? And we have a member of parliament or a potential member of parliament then looking to lead the people behaving in that way.
Right.
So, for me, and I'm saying this, the PNP must do some introspection.
Absolutely.
What they have done in the past damaged Jamaica severely. So You have not said, you're not saying anything differently. The same people are still there, right? So what should we expect any, why should we expect any different than the previous terms that we've had from them?
You're okay with this government staying there for, let's say, the next 3 terms?
It's foreseeable future as long as they continue on this path that Andrea has set it on to deal with the serious issues of security, right? Joblessness, right? Development infrastructurally, right? And dealing with the foreign policy in the manner that he's dealing with. We should continue on this path for the foreseeable future. There is not right now an alternative government in place to come and take over, not the PNP.
One of our subscribers says there is a leadership crisis in the PNP, and that's facts. I cannot see them representing Jamaica globally. You want give up Samuda for Lyad Ian. You want give up Chang for Fitz Jackson.
You know, as you say now, Natalie, if you want to see these guys angry, point out the positives.
No, I think it's funny. I think it's real.
To me, they would rather see Jamaica burn because I said to my friend and I said to him, I showed him the data. I said, look at this. In the business board of data, you know what I'm saying? That no matter because in the on the ground.
Lord God, that's me tell you something. An argument to them.
The JCF put out the statistics, they are also on the ground. They're not up in the air floating.
That's it. Me tell you something. I argue with them without data. If they're not a data, we have no conversation. Yeah, true.
He's saying that the data and the security is irrelevant because he's on the ground and that's not what he hears, that's what he's experiencing. Right? I said the jugular veins stand up in their neck because they might try to stress the point that Jamaica is not safe, like they would want to see Jamaica not safe.
It's they probably would.
When you touch on the jobs, they come, they spin it. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like there's two different countries operating in one country, two different people. And I just want to encourage my Prime Minister and the Honest to continue doing his best because others we see clearly are out there doing their very worst. So he just has to do it day by day and stay the course and don't not become distracted by the noise. Just stay focused on what you've been doing for the last 10 years, which is to build Jamaica and to make it safer. I want to encourage my Prime Minister and his team to just do not get distracted. Because you said, Natalie, people don't stone flux in mango. Only when the mango put in the tree and they do tricky and nice. You see them as seal stone and fight to take it down. If the Prime Minister were doing something bad, he would not be getting the kind of criticism that he's getting now. It is only because he's making a positive change, and I would say a paradigm change, why he's getting so much fight back, and it's coming from our quarters. Right?
Yeah.
This is proof that he's doing something good. And I want him to just stay the course, Natalie. And that's the point that I wanted to say to tonight and your viewers.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, what would you say the cost, a monthly salary to survive in Jamaica? Woman a chat about Jamaicans can't live well off 2,500 US a month. She said that. Lie, she lie and wicked. Jamaicans can't flip that make she go. All right. Me could do some maths here, so. Give me a second, me get piece of paper, guys. Give me a second. Greetings, Jamaica, and warm greetings to Jamaicans across the diaspora and friends of Jamaica around the world. Welcome to Jamaica Politics Uncovered 2.0, hosted by Natalie. This is your platform for truth, credible information, breaking news, Jamaican politics, public policy, and social justice. Here, we go beyond the headlines. We challenge misinformation, examine the facts, and hold our leaders accountable. Every story deserves more than a headline. It deserves evidence, history, perspective, and honest discussion. From Jamaica to the diaspora, we are connecting our people through fearless commentary and meaningful conversations about our country's future. Join the Jamaica movement. Join the Country First movement. This is Jamaica Politics Uncovered 2.0, where truth matters and conversation becomes impact. We are about purpose, perspective, and impact. All right, guys. Are you guys? I don't. Are you guys hearing me? I think you are. All right. What is the average rent? Let us say rent. What is the average rent per month? 2,500 US we I work with. Thank you. Thank you. 2,500 US. Because I had this conversation with a gentleman last couple 2 ago. We were driving and talking about it. I'm trying to find the comment. There it is. All right. All right. So, wanna tell me in the chat, what is the average rent per month in Jamaica? I know what the average rent per month is. In the United States, let's say somewhere in Florida, the average rent would be you can get a 1 bedroom, a nice 1 bedroom for a good 1,600 a month. In a residential area, nice community, stuff like that. All right. Nicole, thank you. Nicole said the average rent in Jamaica is 350 US dollars. And let us do the calculation. 350. That's about 45,000. About let's say 46,000. Everybody agree with 350 US for the average rent? 50,000 a month. Make us say 50,000. Let me know if you guys agree with that figure. It depends on where, I know, but I'm just saying the average. And when I say average, I'm talking about a safe community, 2 bedroom, 35,000. Somebody said not accurate. 50,000 average. All right, me could keep it at 50,000 for a 1 bedroom. Somebody say in a gated community it's about 70,000. 70,000 would be about 500 and let's say 550 US dollars to round it off. And that would be, guys, do not kill me with the numbers them. Take time. Somebody has said 70,000, okay. 80,000 for a 2 bedroom. 2 bedroom 70,000. Kingston 19, 140,000 a month. Okay. 2 bedroom 90,000. It really varies. It really does. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it at 100,000. Let us say that 100,000 for rent. You have the option to live where it would cost you that for a 1 bedroom or a 2 bedroom. So I could just say 100,000. which is equivalent to about 750 US dollars per month. That's reasonable, right? You might have something gated, safe, stuff like that. So I could say 750. $750. Two people, a couple. I would estimate that food for two people per month could run you about, I don't know, for two people could have run you 100,000 a month same way, don't it? I don't know, no tell me. 'Cause 100,000 for two people or 500 US, I don't know, tell me. How much a month to feed two people? You could say $500, right? Coming by in Jamaica, you have the option to shop at the market. You don't have to go in a supermarket. You don't have to do that. All right, so about $500 for two people eat per month. And when you look at your local gas and your local utilities and all of them, their phone bill, gas in your vehicle if you have a vehicle, um, internet, stuff like that. I would put that at about I don't know, another 100,000 maybe, which is another 750. So altogether, between the cost to rent and food, $500, and then the next 750 to pay all your utilities. Average rent in Jamaica is not 100,000, it's about 50 or less. Average. Where's the $50,000 a week for two people eat? Me backside. 50,000, are you sure? It's you sure? Any household earning 2,500 US, I live good in a Jamaica. I'm sure it does. Because I'm telling you, housing is one of the cheapest thing in a Jamaica compared to the United States. A lot of people are talking about it. No matter about Jamaica, this and that. Housing compared to, I know a lot of people who have either moved back to Jamaica or they're planning to because housing has gotten off the charts in the United States. So my total year so for $100,000 a month rent and which is 750 US and a 500 US per month to eat and $750 again to pay all your utilities and your gas. It comes up to 2,000 US dollars. 2,000 US dollars. 2,500. I'm sure. Yeah, you can live well in Jamaica. Now, I can talk about America. If you want to live, a nice little life, couple could run you about $4,000 a month. About $4,000 a month. And out of that, you can go on movies. You can maybe go to eat maybe once out of the month. Anything else, you've got to save to do it. Thank you, Paul. Two persons in my household. 2,000 US could work. 2,500 US could work. So the person who said 2,500 couldn't work, I guarantee if you do a survey right now, it would work. It's a no-brainer. Anybody who said that them no understand the cost of living on something at Jamaica. But it can work. You put that way above the max. What you mean by the rent or what? What did I put above the max? The rent or the utilities or the food? The average man spend 30 to 40,000 on food monthly. Is that right? That's just for one person though, right? You don't have to rent so high in Jamaica to live reasonable. Okay. It didn't even make sense to buy anything in the supermarket to take back to Jamaica. Yeah. I raise my own chicken, have my little backyard garden. If you live in gated area and eat healthy, backside. When you hear them come out, everybody acknowledge, say, look here, take boy if you eat healthy. Everything that's not good for you is dirt cheap. My friend went back home and she's paying $100,000 per month, which includes water and light in Havendale, and rent and bills in New York was 3,000. May I tell you enough? Enough people are do it because cost of living is out of control. Yes, the cost of living in a Jamaica, like the rest of the world, it go up too, but catch up with the rest of the world yet. And that's just the truth. So if anybody over here tonight, you are looking at your finances and you're wondering, listen, how much longer can I survive off this or like this? You have an option. One of your options, you can move back to Jamaica just because it's affordable. And I encourage you to do it. You know who I want to talk to over here? I don't know if he's listening or watching. The gentleman named Throp that has the YouTube channel out here. I think Throp moved from New York or something. I like to talk to people who moved back to Jamaica or moved to Jamaica to see, how they like it or how they're managing and things like that. The average Jamaican has 300K saved. So why would people think we can't survive off 2,500 US easily per month? I don't know why anybody would even say that. Anybody say that they don't understand the economics of Jamaica. So if 2,500 US per month are approximately 398,000 Jamaican to live in Jamaica, that's middle class or upper middle class, I could live on that comfortably. Know of people in the States living on much less monthly. I know what I think too. It depends on how many people are in your household, but you have people who are living in the States of 2,500 US per month. And you know what? They don't even qualify for welfare. So as some serious antidote are going in for them household. You understand? For true, it's rough for some people. 2,500. I don't even think, to me, to live comfortable and safe at Jamaica, I'm not even think it, me not think it have to cost 2,500. I think the most it should cost is maybe about 2 grand US. All right, well, let's wrap it up here, guys. For those of you who are just joining, thank you. You can always go back and see what we were talking about here. I'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about why so much people are Westmoreland. Them have land, but they're not a title. And we see where the hurricane do and the destruction and the quality houses. the committee, the land committee that was down there. Some people were even paying based on what I'm told. So we're going to get into all of that tomorrow. So come back tomorrow. Have yourselves a good night. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure that you hit the like button before you go, guys, and that you are subscribed here, okay? Thank you guys so much. We'll catch up. Take care. Greetings, Jamaica, and warm greetings to Jamaicans across the diaspora and friends of Jamaica around the world. Welcome to Jamaica Politics Uncovered 2.0, hosted by Natalie. This is your platform for truth, credible information, breaking news, Jamaican politics, public policy, and social justice. Here, we go beyond the headlines. We challenge misinformation, examine the facts, and hold our leaders accountable. Every story deserves more than a headline. It deserves evidence, history, perspective, and honest discussion. From Jamaica to the diaspora, we are connecting our people through fearless commentary and meaningful conversations about our country's future. Join the Jamaica movement. Join the Country First movement. This is Jamaica Politics Uncovered 2.0, where truth matters and conversation becomes impact. We are about purpose, perspective, and impact.